Welcome back to Mystic Like My Mama, a podcast presented by Ask Penjie. I'm Isabella, and this is my mama, Tina, and we are the co-founders of Ask Penjie. In this show, we'll talk about accessing your intuition and how we integrate ancient wisdom into our modern lives. Welcome back, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, hi. So, I'm very excited for today's topic and theme. Um, we had a really funny little synchronicity story that we were going to share. I still can't believe it happened, to be honest. Throwback if you haven't seen our signs and synchronicities and angel numbers episode, go watch that one now. But we had a really cool synchronicity this week. Me and mom and our family went to Barnes and Noble and we were looking around and I had a big stack of books as I always do. And I picked up this one book and I've always wanted to get it. It's a classic and I was like, yeah, maybe today's the day that I finally get it, but I wasn't sure. I was like, how do I decide? Do I buy it? Do I not buy it? Right? Didn't you walk up to me?
Yeah, then I came up to you and I saw you holding it, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "Are you holding that book? I've never seen you hold that book."
I know. And then
Oh no, I said, Are you thinking of getting it?"
yes, and then right when you said that, or just after, I was like, oh, I don't know. And then this girl walks by us, and she's holding the same book, the same book. And I was like, oh my God, now is this my sign? Do I have to get it? Like, is this meant to be? And it was so funny because she was like, it's your sign. She was like, now you have to get it. And I was like, now you have to get it too.
Yeah,
And
it
so
was her sign.
she was so sweet. It was so funny. So I got it. So it happened. Um, but that was so cute and so funny. But
It really speaks to our theme today.
it does, and you'll see why if you stay tuned. But that was so unexpected and like cute, and I love when that kind of stuff happens when you're just out and about, and I don't know, it's like you could not ever possibly plan that ever.
No way.
No, it was so cute. So we'll get back into that synchronicity after our card pull.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Okay.
You're like because you forgot because the job has been transferred.
Yeah, so just so you know, in our intuitive lifestyle that we are sharing with you every episode, is that we just kind of listen to our intuition and come up with, ideas, and we allow creativity to flow. And we were like, oh, why doesn't Bella do the card reading this week?
Mixing it up, keeping it fresh and
Hmm.
interesting. So
And
we
you're really
have,
good at it.
thank you. We have my favorite Dreamy Moons deck and pretty pretty. So do your little intention thing.
My spiel.
Hmm.
Okay. So, everybody, Bella is going to prepare the cards. She is knocking on them 3 times to insert her energy for us, for the collective, to choose a card for us today. So, if you guys have anything that you are thinking of, or need to hear a message from the universe, or you have been asking the universe for a sign or a confirmation for something that you are going through, think about that now, and we're going to choose a card that hopefully will resonate with everybody who's listening whenever you tune in. It could be like a decision you're making or something you're going through in our experience or relationship, anything like that.
Okay.
Looking for our cosmic guidance from the universe. Did you drop them?
Oh, I got it.
Oh, okay. Because what if
Okay.
one falls out, that's like special.
Okay. Rest.
Rest.
Give yourself time to recuperate.
Hmm. That's not the card I wanted.
That happens.
Did you guys ever want to like throw the card back in and be like, wait a second, like that I don't know if that resonates.
Sometimes the message you need to hear is not the message you want to hear.
Oh my God, that's such a good point.
Okay,
Are you
let's.
sure you mixed them up? I'm just kidding.
I did because I haven't gotten this
I
one.
know, I'm just kidding. All right, let's see what it's all about. And we'll see if it resonates with us later, because sometimes it's not. You're like, wait a minute, like, why on earth is it saying that message?
Okay.
Rest.
If you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit. Banksy. Regain your power and energy by giving yourself permission to rest without guilt. Rest physically by sleeping more, eating nourishing foods, taking baths, going for slow, relaxing walks in nature, and taking breaks from work or studies. Rest mentally through meditation, journaling, painting, and taking a break from social media and technology. Understand that resting is productive as it gives you energy to enjoy your life more fully and gives you time to realize the insights that you've gained. If you can't let yourself rest for 20 minutes, you need to rest for 2 hours. The less you can allow yourself to rest, the more you actually probably need it. The little exercise it suggests are to go to bed a little earlier than you normally do, to incorporate meditation into your routine, to take longer breaks during work or studies or something, and rest your mind. Do a social media cleanse. Take a little break. Stay off your phone. Just
Mm.
rest. There's different kinds of rest. Oh, let's do the affirmation first. I allow myself to slow down and rest. I am filling up with energy to create the life I want to live.
It's so interesting because I felt like I wanted a different card because I was looking for an answer or something to what I was thinking about. But then I thought to myself, I actually did that yesterday. I was trying to rest, but I kept looking for you guys. I felt very guilty about resting, like I should be doing something, and I really could not. Yeah. So actually, it
Absolutely.
was a very relevant card for me too. Did it resonate for you?
It did. Um, I love that card. And I love it's an interesting thing to talk about because when we talk about rest as society, everybody thinks of sleeping, they think of, right? But there's so many different kinds of rest, and the body needs different kind of rest. You need a break from mental stimulation. Sometimes you need a break as we're teaching energy and intuition. Like sometimes you need an energetic break, like going off and being alone and letting your energy recharge. Sometimes you need physical rest, which is sleep. There's so many different kinds of rest and breaks that your body needs to recuperate different areas of your life. So maybe it doesn't even necessarily mean sleeping. Maybe it means there's an area in your life that you need to rest or recover in. Give a little more time to.
I love that. And that is the perfect time. And I want to remind you guys that we are building our website and we are going to be teaching you and opening up to the public Ask Penjie Society, which is our community and membership. And we're going to have our Penjies for sale, which I do have some now if you want to pre order, actually. But this is a perfect example of when you could use Penjie because you could literally ask, like, what do I need? Like, what type of rest do I need? And then you say, like, do I need like spiritual rest? Do I need to be off my phone? Like, it helps you figure out how to like narrow it down like a detective and try to figure out which type of rest would be best for you.
Absolutely. I love that you brought that up. And yes, we still have some of our first limited edition collection of our Penjies.
Yes, and if you don't have one yet, take the time to sit down, like Bella said, and get quiet and to tune into your intuition if you
Mhm.
have other ways that you tune into your intuition in the meantime. Just be sure you could sit down and light a candle. You can, meditate and then try to see if you receive the information and the clarity that way.
Yes. Notice any areas that you feel like are lacking, that you could use
Hmm.
a little more recovery, a little more rest. So with that, into our theme for today's episode, stranger danger, why you should never talk to strangers. Ha ha ha, joking, because
Sarcasm.
so many of our beautiful in like interactions with humans in general comes from talking to strangers. The way we have magical experiences, the way I had this synchronicity and got this book was because I talked to a girl that I didn't know and I've never met before. So this is a saying that many of you have probably heard or grown up hearing, but mom taught us something very different. So mom, could you please share with us what you would say and how you taught us to navigate talking to strangers?
Yes. So, ever since I was a little girl and I'm now 52 years old, I've always thought about things very deeply and I've always questioned things and I've always constantly said, that doesn't make any sense. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And so when you guys were little, it bothered me that people would try to say stuff to you guys or tell me to say stuff to you guys that made no sense. I was like, do you guys even know what you're saying? Like, do you understand what you're saying? And they would be like, well, this is what we say. And I'm like, just, okay, that makes no sense. So I want to talk about rewriting, like, and reframing an old saying that, like, every generation keeps alive and unconsciously keeps teaching it. I mean, I hear parents all the time say it to little kids and teach it, and I understand why they're doing it. But I think that it is actually quite dangerous and it can have many side effects. So I would like us to kind of rethink it. So I wrote a quote when you guys were very little, and it goes like this. And I would tell you, well, I mean, here's the quote, and then I'll explain it. Instead of telling your child, don't talk to strangers, tell your child, don't talk to people who make you feel strange. And the reason that I came up with that is because I thought to myself, the other one has no intuition behind it at all. There's no thought, there's no intuition, there's no feeling your way through it. It's just simply like a command.
Yeah.
And what happens is when you have a command running, I think you kind of step aside and you do not allow yourself the space to think, that feels really weird. Like that feels kind of off, or this person seems really nice, or you don't have a way to connect with your intuition, and you don't have a way to not only access your intuition, but to tune into your feelings and your emotions. And I think it can be very dangerous to do this. So they taught us about like stranger danger, like you said, but I think it's very dangerous to teach this. And so I would like everyone who's listening to consider, what bothers me about this is it's like an unconscious instruction, like just nobody's thinking. They're just like blah, 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 like Charlie Brown voice. And you're instilling this at a very young age. And, whatever you pretty much teach children 0 through 7, that is prime programming age for like programming your subconscious and what you're going to feel as an adult. And I think there's some really bad side effects. And, a lot of people would say, but can't, strangers be dangerous? And I would say, yes, absolutely. But you cannot, everyone is a stranger. Like you can't have this big general straight statement because everyone you meet throughout life is in essence a stranger if you don't know them. So we're talking about, people that work at the store and things like that. And I think the problem with that too is the other side of it, which is sometimes we're taught to blindly trust other people, blindly trust, a policeman or a fireman or our elders or somebody's brother because it's their brother or their cousin or their father, and this gets us into a lot of trouble when we blindly trust anyone, whether it be a parent, a teacher, or a spiritual or religious leader, friends of the family, anything like that. And, there are statistics and it says, like primarily violent crimes and things that happen are done by people that know their victim. So it's more rare that it's a stranger from somewhere. So I don't really want to get into that, like the side of it, and you can go research it and look it up. But I think it's a very confusing thing because everyone's going to be a stranger. I mean, look, Daddy was a stranger to me, and I literally like built a life with him and had 2 kids with him. Like, it's very confusing. And the other thing that really would drive me crazy too is that it's like they're saying don't talk to strangers. And then you go to the store and what do all the parents do? Like they say, I don't know, you go to the grocery store and they hand your kid a sticker, right? And the parents are always like, say thank you, like make sure you say thank you. Like they're always like prompting and telling you what to say, but that person's a stranger. So one minute they're saying don't talk to strangers. And now they're saying, yeah, you can talk to that stranger. And a little child doesn't have the brain development to think, well, mommy said I could, or, whatever. Like they're just not
Yeah.
ready to process that information. So,
It's
um,
confusing. It's
yeah.
confusing for a little kid.
Yeah. And so I feel that at every point, someone is a stranger. And I think it's conflicting for your subconscious, right? To like think like it's just ridiculous, actually. It just doesn't make any sense. So I was listening to, there's a relationship expert. Her name is Esther Perel. And I love this quote that she has where she says, be open to serendipity. Because she says everyone, including your barista or like somebody you're waiting in line with, or like you went to a book signing, you met people in line,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like if you would have thought like, oh, I can't talk to people, I don't know them, like I can't, and I think it just has such dangerous side effects to grow up with that statement. So I would like us to consider, reframing that.
Yeah, to reiterate, say what you said. It's not don't talk to strangers, it's don't talk to people who make you feel strange. People who make you uncomfortable or nervous, or you can feel in your intuition, your gut, your belly, something's off, don't feel good. We've all had that, you know. Everybody has the story of like standing at a gas station or standing somewhere and being like, okay, I know the energy here is not good. I need to go. I need to get back in the car. I need to something. So we have a pretty good radar, but when it's this all or nothing mentality, like you said, that removes our ability to use our intuition moment to moment, case to case. And that's what's needed in, living an intuitive life and living a life of connection. Otherwise, you're just isolated. You wouldn't talk to anybody or meet anybody. And the coolest things come out of meeting new people and having these serendipitous experiences. And that's like what makes life worth living. It's like we're all humans on this planet, and you have to learn how to navigate it, not just, you know, avoid it all.
Yeah, and think about tuning into your intuition where you feel it. Because, like I always tell you guys, mine is in my solar plexus, which is my upper tummy. And I remember even being young and somebody would say, like, oh, this is this person and they're so great. They're so wonderful. And I'm like, like, I don't know. Like, I get a really weird feeling about them. Again, when you have your intuition, it's different than judgment. It's discernment. It's observation. We're going to have a whole episode on that. It's it's a feeling that something's off, but you're not sure what it is. And it's your job to either in a split second or go and take some time or something like that. It's your job to figure out how to discern what is this feeling that I have? Why is it off? And sometimes you never know. Sometimes you just literally get some, it's funny, but I would always tell dad would say, but you're protected. You have your angels. And I said, my angels are telling us, get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
because again, that's another all or nothing type of mentality, right? Like he's like, you're protected, you're surrounded. And I'm like, yes, I know that. And part of my protection are the messages that I receive to leave. And it's funny, I remember when you guys were really little, and I don't remember if I ever talked about this, but we went into a Starbucks and you and your sister were so tiny. And it was all four of us, and we went in and there were these two guys like in a corner at the coffee shop, and I said to daddy, I said, we are leaving. And he's like, oh my God, what happened? And I'm like, just, I'll tell you in the car, get the girls in the car. So we go out, we talk, and over the years, he's pretty good about it. He understands my spidey sense and he respects it. And right? Like we all kind of know, like if we all feel something or it feels off, we kind of honor the other person, even if we're not sure. And then maybe we ask later what felt off. We got in the car. I just knew something was off about them. Did I feel like something would happen to us? No, not really, but I knew that we didn't need to be there at that moment. Like getting a drink or whatever, it was not urgent. No one needed the bathroom. Like we should just leave. And sometimes you have to figure out, do you leave? Do you just not talk to that person? Like, remember I told you if I ever dropped you off or left you anywhere, if you felt uncomfortable, you could always use me as an excuse. You could just say, my mom said I have to leave, or like, and make me the bad guy, whatever you want. But I wanted you to tune in wherever you were. And if you felt uncomfortable, to listen to that and not ignore that sensation or that feeling or that thought, right?
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And mom is like a student at this because like my entire life I grew up anywhere we went, we'd be in the grocery store or something, and she'd be in line or talking to the cashier. Next thing you know, I'm like, "What's taking so long?" And I like go find her, and it's been like 10 minutes, and she knows their entire life story. And the people are just so comfortable opening up to you. And there's some people that have that and don't. Some of you will probably relate to that. But yeah, you just have this like energy that people open up to you, and you would have so many cool, fun experiences where you'd meet amazing employees or friends in line or at events we were at, whatever. You'd meet the coolest people, and sometimes you never know where that would lead us. Like someone being like able to hook you up with something, or like just having a connection at a place you're at, or like it's so meaningful, and it also makes the experience much more special and fun, and you were so good at that, so you modeled that for me. And I you know now I go out and I'm always like scanning and I'm like, who do I resonate with? Who do I feel comfortable like speaking to? You never know what could happen or
I know. Wait, I just thought of a story. It's just funny because the funny things that I remember that I tell you. But like, a lot of people would tell me, make sure you tell the girls to like anywhere you are, if they get lost in the store, go find a mommy. Like go find a mom. And then I would be like, "Oh, okay, so there's no like women's prisons?" Like you can't just like say go find, you know what I'm saying? Like I just always wanted you to be guided by how you felt. Go up to someone you feel comfortable with. Like
a little further insight than just being like, oh, just because someone's a woman, they're safe or just
yes,
because.
just because someone's a police officer. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had an experience where we were out and I think it was when you were teaching yoga actually. And I was sitting in the parking lot and I was waiting for you to pick you up. And all of a sudden, an ambulance comes, a fire truck comes, everyone's running. My heart was like panicked. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? And I went up to a police officer in the parking lot, right? And I was
Mhm.
just like, hi. And he's like, can I help you? Like, kind of mean and, whatever. I thought, oh, maybe he's busy. He's a police officer.
Yeah.
And then I just said, oh, my daughter's in there. And I'm just wondering, like, what's happening? Like, hello. And he looked at me and he goes, there's nothing for you to worry about. And I was like, okay, so I should just ignore all the sirens and the paramedics. And then he was really mean, actually. And I thought to myself, gosh, people would have taught me when I was young, go up to the nice police officer and you should find out what, like he'll take care of you, he'll help you. He was so mean and so short. And it wasn't because he was busy. He was literally sitting, not busy. And okay, I shouldn't say if I knew he was busy or not, but I'm just saying I wasn't bothering him. I just had one question and he was just sitting there in his car. So he was just not nice. So I thought to myself, yeah, like
Go
just the story about blindly, you know, trusting somebody.
And I think, that's something people are more aware of now than ever with everything that's happened in the past few years. Like, so many people are hesitant of first responders or employees, people, because there's a lot of scary incidents that have happened for all different kinds of people. But it's still not even that goes the other way. Of you were saying when you were little, people are saying, oh, you could just trust all these people. But then the last few years, there's been this whole change where now everyone's very hesitant of those people and very scared. But then
Hmm.
that's also very black or white too, because
Yeah.
that's very all or nothing. And a lot of times you can find people who don't fit a certain category. They're super trusting or super kind, or you feel safe with them. And no matter who you are, I'm sure you've had an experience like that where, maybe someone you didn't expect, you were like, well, actually, this person was really kind to me, so it was okay. And maybe it was just, and maybe, people didn't have that experience, but you did.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's very important to learn to be open-minded and decisive. Like, okay,
Yes.
yeah,
And have your wits about you, like when you're looking at your phone or you're distracted or your awareness is lower, you are not able to tune in properly.
yeah,
So it's very important that when you are out in the world and when you are, and that you are paying attention and that you have your antenna up. You
yeah,
know, um, I think I don't want to like go down that road too much, but I think that we all understand and know that there's a lot of harm that can be done from people that we know and has, and statistically speaking, that is common. So that's why I think it's very important to say something different, to have us have that awareness, but even parents and for the next generation, like we do not need to be saying things that do not make sense. Like let's rewrite stuff, let's upgrade the beliefs and the things that we talk about and the conversations that we're having. And nowadays in the media we have found out how just even talk about Hollywood, right? We have found out that people who we think that they could have trusted, um they couldn't. And so I think there's never been a better time to learn about your intuition and to be tuning into your senses. And yeah, it's just really important.
absolutely, 100%. And it's something that, like the little kids should know. Like I mean, everybody should know this, but
Yeah.
like, think of like.
Yeah. But start them when they're young. But yes, now we should all remind each other about that. Um, just I mean, at every point, at every situation, like your Uber driver, you're at a birthday party and someone tells you to drink something or eat something, and it's you're at your neighbor's house. I don't care what it is. Your intuition has to override everything and everyone. And I always told you, even me, like even if I tell you something, I want you to say, that doesn't feel right for me. Like, and then I would be like, oh, okay. Like, I'm really glad to not only hear that, but then maybe you would share why and we could work it out together. But the other thing I was going to say is that I think that some of the side effects of this is that we when we follow I don't even know what this is called. Like when we follow like a saying or something so closely, right? We shut down a part of ourselves that has to have critical thinking and have emotions and have feelings and things like that. And we can't afford to shut ourselves down because our emotions and our energy and everything is our guidance system. So I can't say that enough because I lost my train of thought, but I was going to tell you guys something. Um,
That's okay. More than ever, I think people are aware of this too, but I was going to say so many people rely on stereotypes to get by thinking that they're navigating things, but that's almost always not accurate. Like we've had so many scenarios where you see somebody that you think maybe stereotypically you'd be like, "Oh, they're like you got to watch out for them. They're the nicest person, the person you thought was good, would be safe, meanest person you ever met in your life." So it's like you genuinely, that's why intuition is so important because you can't go off of these silly things. It's outdated to think like that. It's not a it's not a realistic or healthy way to navigate the world.
and wouldn't you agree? It's so funny, but it's almost like a shock to my system because it's not the reality that I live in. Like, I'll tell you something that happened actually. I don't remember when it was, but like a month or two ago, I was driving and I may have actually cut someone off. Like, I didn't mean to, and they weren't there when I turned, but they came out from nowhere. Oh my God, they were so mad. And I I couldn't say I'm sorry. Like I wanted to. I was kind of like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." Like I don't even know that it was my fault and I was apologizing just because I got scared anyway. I mean, of course my window was shut and I they couldn't hear me, but they were laying on their horn and they literally were like yelling at me like through the window and I just kept saying I'm so sorry and then I thought to them, well, maybe they got really scared. Like obviously I'm always offering somebody like grace and stuff, but there's mean people, but it's very rare that I encounter someone who's mean or rude or that, like you've seen so many examples. And I'm talking about like I'm not just talking about people you meet and people who are in person. I'm talking about if you call a customer service agent. I mean, I have always made sure to connect with the person on the other line, not just because I need something, but because they are the person who have to help me figure out what to do about it, whether I call about a bill or something like that. And, we have to learn all the time how to connect with strangers, whether it be in school, whether it be at work, whether it be at our first job, like it's just so important. So, not to repeat the same thing, but I was just going to say the other thing is I think one of the dangerous side effects, and I don't know, I could be wrong, but I feel like it could be related to some social skills that like some generations might be lacking. Like everybody's kind of always putting down teenagers or other generations, which I will talk about that another time because that upsets me a lot also to do any generalizations about age groups or people. But I think it can contribute to like social anxiety and having phobias because literally from the time that they can talk and they're little, you're teaching them things that are harmful to them or confusing and conflicting. And I'm not sure, but could that be an effect? Maybe
Yeah,
it could, definitely like add to it.
totally. Yeah, if you have all these beliefs about people, of course you're going to be hesitant or nervous to talk to strangers or employees or people. It's confusing.
And if you have adults in your life who are modeling that as being a negative experience, you could actually have negative experiences as well. So
Mhm.
it matters who you're learning from, who you're observing, who you're spending time with. If the adults in your life have road rage or they're always yelling at the customer service agent or they're yelling at the waitress, like that's what you're going to grow up around, and then that's going to be your, your norm.
And the I think the polar opposite of that experience is I think some kids maybe if they're around that, it's not just, oh, I don't want to be like them, I want to be kind. It's also like you become kind of scared. You could maybe kind of scared of being mean to employees or thinking you might come off that way. So people are very like meek or just nervous in general because they don't want to come. We talked about this a little in like our first episode, but um a lot of my generation is scared confrontation. And I think a lot of it comes from that, like watching parents or people or family be so making assumptions or stereotyping or being mean to like people around them. Then it makes, yeah, it can create a social anxiety, like a lot of weird, like, feelings.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's definitely a skill. It's something you have to learn.
Like people talk about a loneliness epidemic or all these people who are, not able to connect or not, who are struggling. And I, you have to talk to strangers. Um, and also just like I said earlier, it's not all or nothing. Like sometimes you will do your absolute best to be intuitive, and you might get in a situation or meet somebody down the line that you realize this doesn't feel good, this isn't safe, and that's when it's important to have your resources and your trusted people because, you know, ideally we're using our intuition and we're being mindful and knowing who to speak to and who not to, but you don't always know and sometimes things change and it's important to learn how to navigate it and have, like you said, your wits about you and how to like navigate it after in case you talk to someone and then you're like, oh, this doesn't feel good. I got to get out of this situation.
Yeah, and you know what? None of this is about, we always say, being perfect. It's not like you're going to get it right all the time, but you'll get it right more than, than not if you're using your intuition often. You
Absolutely.
get better at it the more you practice it. It's like a muscle.
100%. It like literally, and it's something you can strengthen. With all of that amazing stuff, we will do our crystal of the week. I have the crystal this time.
Yes.
It's a very, very fun little heart. This is
Oh,
my
a little opal or opalite.
this is my opal or opalite. Depending where you read it and what book you read it, it'll be either. But this is my little heart opal. She's very cute. It's like rainbow if it glistens in the light.
It's so pretty. You've had that a long time. I love that
This
crystal.
is this is one of my first crystals I got when I was very little.
That is a third eye chakra crystal. I'm going
Ooh.
to tell you guys, should I tell you a little bit about it?
Mhm.
I remember you got that really little, actually. So, this crystal is amazing. It enhances psychic and intuitive abilities when used in meditation, especially when placed on the energy center of like your third eye chakra. It can help you increase your intuition. It's so interesting you picked that for this week.
That's
Though
a
every episode we do is about intuition, essentially.
stalker. Oh my God, it's a synchronicity.
That's funny. It says the same. Okay, it says Opalite induces visions about how to succeed on your life path and in your career. The same increased intuition and psychic powers that guide good fortune in business ventures also empower greater spiritual communication. That's so cool. And it says it can remove blockages from your auric field, boost your self esteem, gives you confidence to talk to people and to go ahead and talk to strangers. Helps anyone starting a new business. Uh, Good for times of transition. Um, I love this thing. I have things everywhere to read. Actually, it says it strengthens your will to live. It can treat Parkinson's disease, fever, strengthen memory, purify your blood and your kidneys. It eases childbirth. It can alleviate like menstrual symptoms, and it's very beneficial to the eyes.
Wow.
So you never know. I want you guys to just stay open because you never know how a crystal can affect you. And remember, we always want you to cleanse your crystals. You can take your selenite and cleanse your crystal. And then, yeah, there's your opalite on your third eye chakra.
I can see everything. Spirits are speaking to me. It's all so clear.
Amazing.
It's very pretty. Love this crystal.
So I want to just repeat my quote so that you guys can reframe that quote that I kind of raised you guys with that we talked about today. Instead of telling your child or insert human, loved one, anybody, don't talk to strangers. Tell your child or a child, don't talk to people who make you feel strange.
Mhm. I love it. Don't talk to people who make you feel strange. And that'll look different in different parts of your life. And yeah, you got to trust it. So with that, I want to remind you all once again, if you don't already, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please like this video. Please ding that little bell for your notification so you know when our next episode comes up. And follow us on Instagram and TikTok and wherever so you can see about our latest events and everything that's going on. And yes, sign up for our email list for Ask Penjie Society and everything that's launching soon.
That's at askpenjie.com. I'm going to spell it for everybody just in case you're, driving or you're listening. It's askpenjie.com.
We'll see you there. And also, we have 10% off Dreamy Moons for anything on her site. But if you want to get your own card deck, the link is in the YouTube description or it's code Ask Penjie. So this was so fun. This was a good session. This was good.
Yeah, thank you. It was good. It's always good to talk to you.
Always good to talk to you. You're not a bad co-host.
Thank
Not
you. Thank you. Thank you.
but thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on next week of Mystic Like My Mama. Bye, you guys.
Bye.